Hello everyone and welcome back to the Longplay Club. This is part 3 of the definitive Metal Gear Solid 1 playthrough. Here on JoyClicks, I'm your host today, Christian Buckley, joined by Omar Nakvi.
What's up?
How you doing?
How are you doing? I'm good. You?
I'm great. I'm excited to talk about this week. I'm very excited.
Me too.
Somebody who has some things to say once again, Kevin Diaz. How are you?
This is gonna be interesting, But what's up? How we doing? Episode 3, over the halfway mark. You love to see it. Revenge of the Sith, love to see it.
And rounding out the panel, Jack Martin.
Howdy, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you, Jack?
I'm good. Excited to get into it. I think I might be on a similar page as Kevin this week, which is surprising. But I'm excited to hear sort of the more critical aspects about this playthrough.
Of course. Before we dive into it, this show and the prior 2 episodes are available on the Longplay Club playlist, youtube.com/joyclicks, as well as audio services. If you look up Longplay Club or Metal Gear Solid playthrough on podcast services, this will pop up. This will be the podcast feed going forward for all Longplay Club stuff, Metal Gear or otherwise. So if you want to be following along, you can do so. And all of us, our links are in the description for our streams and playthroughs of the game independently will be in the description on podcast feeds and the video version as well. So last week we left off with the Psycho Mantis fight. We saved immediately after his lore dump, which we had some things to say about the fight. On the lore-wise, it's interesting, but mechanically, maybe not. This week we have, I wouldn't say another mechanically interesting or huge noteworthy thing that people ran with for the game, but I do think this week more than most we have a lot of lore and character building in Metal Gear Solid that has always stuck with me since my first playthrough of this game this week. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. I definitely, so I think Omar in a previous episode said that Snake is like a nerd, right? And I didn't really feel that until this episode, where it's I see, we get to see a little bit more a range of emotions that obviously we're going to get into how he feels these things, but we get a little hopelessness, we get a little failure type of emotions and different ways that he's reacting to certain things in this episode. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So definitely there's you're right, less info dump in terms of the overall plot for the most part that we got in episode 2. But this one I feel like we get to get to know more about the characters, I feel like, for sure.
Definitely. Jack, kicking off this week, we had to follow Meryl through a cave system. How did you fare getting through the cave system, and did you remember that you had night vision goggles? Because I forgot.
I did remember, but I killed so many wolves in the process. Just eating them up, just all the time. And I felt bad about it, and I was like, oh, I think Meryl might comment on this later, but had to be done. What I did try was throwing on the cardboard box to see if that did anything. It sure didn't. They smelt my meat right through that thing. So I had to put them down, unfortunately.
That is very unfortunate. Yeah. Kevin, did you struggle getting through it?
Not really, no, because I think when you called somebody, I forgot which one, you called someone and they said, hey, night vision goggles. But good call. Night vision goggles. I do have those. But I did kill many a wolves for sure. Right. A lot of them got slaughtered. You hate to see it. But no, it wasn't that bad. No, it was cool. I did go in I was getting confused at which way to crawl towards and to find that last crawl space to get to the other side where you see that crack in the wall. On the other side of that wall. It took me a while to get to there. But not horribly too bad,
Gotcha.
It was all right.
I don't think I had night vision goggles. I just thinking back, I think I looked at my inventory. Does everyone have that? Did I miss them?
I do.
I did. I got them before I think we did Psycho Mantis last week because we still had the level 5 card. And then if you went to the room where Meryl was patrolling, I think the night vision goggles were in one of those doors.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I killed tons of dogs.
I just ran. I didn't want to kill him because the thing is, like, when Snake makes that comment about like, oh, I'm a musher, you know, I was like, oh, I don't want to kill these dogs. Like, it's Snake. Yeah. He works with these animals. I'm like, I'm not gonna kill him. I did get attacked a lot, but
what exactly is a musher? I got very confused at that. I don't know if you know.
You ever see the movie Baldo?
No, I've not
seen that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I've not seen the movie Baldo. And like, I wasn't sure if it was like a weird like Metal Gear term, like, you know, that they just made up, or if it's a real thing. I don't
Sounds
know.
like
picture this, Kevin. All right.
Okay.
There's, and this is really going to be hard to picture. There's there's an epidemic raging in this small Alaska town, right?
Okay.
And this is the early 1900s. They're using telegraphs and stuff. The only way they can, I actually think it's not an epidemic. I think it's just a sick girl. But you get the point.
Yeah.
The only way to get the medicine to fix this sick girl is via dog sled. Okay. And who's the dude that's gonna do it? Balto, this little husky guy, and he does it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think any mushers are involved, but to answer your original question, a musher is someone who's like on the back of the dog sled who's mushing the dogs, saying mush.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I guess I wouldn't know.
I don't remember that.
I guess I wouldn't know what to call them. But all right, I don't know. Dog herder. I don't. All right.
Musher, they actually they say mush. Is that really?
I thought so.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think in Rudolph also, Yukon, he's got like the little like Shih Tzus as his dog sled. That's supposed to be the joke or something. And he just says mush all the time. So.
Oh.
Okay.
Or how about the Disney movie Snow Dogs?
Yeah, isn't there a Cuba Gooding Jr. movie too? Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, what?
So,
damn it.
Snake, regardless of his history with these dogs, clearly has some difficulty there. I basically was in the same boat as Omar. Like, I forgot I had the goggles, so I didn't use them. I stumbled my way through those caves. And eventually we get to Meryl, and clearly the dogs like her for some reason. We go into the next room, walking down this very, very long hallway. All of a sudden, Meryl gets shot like 3 times right in front of us. What do you think?
She looks like she fucking dies. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. They kill the crap out of her, and you know.
Yeah, like she got shot in the thigh, in the gut, and in the shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Yeah. I did notice like while it was happening that she wasn't like getting shot in like, I guess other than the gut. I guess the gut would be a pretty critical place to get shot, but like I don't think like the shoulder is like as critical of a spot, or like the thigh. I guess if you break your femur, that's a big deal. But generally speaking, like it seems like it was shots that wasn't aiming to kill. So I was a little bit confused, but then we get, you know, of course she gets shot 9 times or whatever, and then she gets to have a whole, you know, three paragraph essay to say to Snake. So
I thought one of them could have been the hip or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then that's our introduction to Sniper Wolf. So, she's picking us off at the end of the hallway. We get a call. I think Colonel's like, "Hey, you need a sniper if you want to save Meryl." And then we got to backtrack. So we go all the way back to the armory. How was everybody's trip on the way to the armory? Jack, did you run into anything wild on this return trip?
Well, I assumed that I actually tried to backtrack before this because you mentioned the suppressor. But Meryl actually wouldn't let you after Sniper or after Psycho Mantis. So I took this opportunity to be like, all right, this is probably like one of the only times I can actually go back and pick stuff up. So I like went room by room in both the nuclear building and in the tank hangar and just collected anything I found that I had access to now with the security card upgrades. Got the suppressor. I got another cardboard box, and a mine detector. So got a whole bunch of stuff I didn't get the first go around.
Very nice. Omar, what about you?
Backtracking was fine. I was pleasantly surprised when the lasers in the tank hangar.
Yeah.
They weren't there anymore. There's not a problem.
That was nice.
Otherwise, yeah, I it was one of those moments where oh man, this game is pretty small, and I was like it sounded annoying at first, but I had an okay time. I did think, so you said you just got the mine detector, Christian, for that, or
I got the mine detector last week.
Okay,
but...
so you had it ready to go before this segment.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, Kevin, did you? Because I remember you didn't have one. Okay, you did. All right.
I did have it. Yeah.
Because these mines, I feel like were placed. Maybe I'm forgetting. I feel like there were more mines than usual, right?
I think so.
There was 100% more mines. There was 100% more mines.
Yeah.
100%.
I managed to, I think I got hit by one mine, and then I was like, oh right, there are mines here, and then I put the detector on.
Right.
But,
yeah.
No, yeah, I was thinking of Kevin, honestly, because I remember you said you didn't have one. And I was like, oh man, this seems worse than usual. But if you had it, that's fine then.
Yeah,
it was rough.
I noticed too, I think, I could be wrong, but it felt like there were instances where places there were guards that I killed guards, they replaced it with security cameras with guns.
Oh yeah, there were definitely more of those, I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm with you.
The thing that sticks out to me the most is in the armory building. I think it's like B2, like where the bathroom is, where Meryl knocked the dude out. At that door, there are two like rotating cameras with guns mounted on that door now, and I don't think there were before. There were just guards in that hallway, so that stuck out to me. Mm-hmm. Kevin, how was your backtrack trip?
I hated it. I hated it so much. I hated it so much. I hated it so much. Like I like the prospect of a game enticing me to backtrack, right? Mm-hmm. I think the best example I have of that recently is like Resident Evil. I love that type of backtracking where it's like, oh yeah, like I remember seeing that over there, right? And like, doing that whole thing and doing that is a lot more satisfying. I don't know if it's like the overall gameplay of Metal Gear, I think, is very much expressed in this time I've played it, in this episode 3, that it's not good at all, I think. I don't know, guys. This one, it got the best of me last night. So, I just think that like there were, I don't know, man. I was having a lot of problems last night with it, bro. Like I don't know what was wrong with me. Like when I would throw out the when I was looking at the mines, I tried to do my finesse with the rock thing. It wasn't working. They added more mines. That screwed me a lot. I was low on rations. We resorted to mining rations, which means I will go to B2, kill the first guard, hope he drops rations, go back in the elevator, go to B1, go down to B2, do it again, just to get 4 rations so that I can live past the minefield. That I just, man, it was a lot, man. It was a lot. And like, I don't know. I did not enjoy that. Did not.
So in the minefield, were you like just trying to like walk around them, or were you crawling?
I think now I realize that I had to crawl, but I don't know if they were mines or claymores. I know that with the chafing grenades, you can take out the mines and they'll be disabled, but not the claymores.
I could be wrong, but I think the game refers to like the mines and claymores as the same thing, because if in the minefield, if you're crawling over them, you'll just dismantle them and pick them up and add a claymore to your inventory.
Yeah, never happens. I don't know if I was just doing it wrong. I don't know what was up with that. I don't know. It was a lot. That like straight up when it came to the realization that I had to backtrack, from that point back to Meryl was like an hour and a half.
Really?
I was not having a good time in the chat. I was not having a good time. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And then that kind of soured the whole thing, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I think in that hour and a half, it really heightened that Metal Gear, I think, needs a remake. Like, needs. You know, I think it's time. I think it's time, guys, because I think that this story is worth it. I think the characters are worth it. I think there's a lot of really cool concepts in this game that I'm finding really intriguing, really interesting, a lot of cool stuff. But I think we need a remake. Yeah, expeditiously.
Kevin,
Yes.
I want to ask you,
Absolutely.
because I wanted to bring this up on the podcast, but I didn't know how to do it organically. But you made the Resident Evil comparison.
Yes.
And I tried playing the first Resident Evil since the last recording we had.
Like the remake of it.
And this is like the 2016 remake or whenever that came out. And I literally couldn't do it. I like couldn't get through it. It was like very difficult for me.
Yeah.
So do you mean like Resident Evil in general, or are you making like the direct like PS1 comparison to MGS1 versus RE1?
I'm not making the 1-to-1. I haven't played that remake. I was just probably talking about like the concept of like if the game is going to make me backtrack, not even optionally, but like make me backtrack, I would like it to be like more enticing, like in a way of like not that I don't explain it because like I know like you know in RE maybe, but like in RE you have to go back to backtrack at some point.
Yeah, it's still item based
to progress. Yeah, like it's still like that. So like it's not that I don't like it when it's called upon the player to do so to progress and that's it. I just think that like it felt really cheap to go all the way this way and then oh fuck bro, you forgot a sniper, which I don't even know if I could have picked it up earlier.
You
I have no idea if you could do that.
Yeah.
You can or you can't.
You can't.
Yeah, then that's like complete. Yeah, nah, that ain't it. Nah, that ain't it. Nah. Like I get it's cool to like go back and like you're a lot stronger and you're a lot knowledgeable about the game overall. So in theory it's supposed to be easier. I think I just got a bad luck with like my ration count at that particular point and my ammo count at that point that at the current state I was at going back was going to be really difficult. I don't know if that was it. But nah, like I don't know. It just felt kind of like it felt so patty, you know, of like, okay, like you just want me to do stuff to like fill time. It feels like, you know, it felt like filler to me, honestly, you know, and I felt that similarly as well later on in the game that we will get to as well. But like there are just certain points that like, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? That's like this isn't necessarily fun. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially since the game could have had you go to the nuclear building rather than all the way back to the tank hangar. And like, you could have just cut that in half. Especially since later on in this episode, we essentially have to backtrack again since we're like teleported to the tank hangar and we have to go all the way back from the cell, which we'll get into, and which is in the tank hangar. So it's just, I understand what you're saying because they could have expedited that like just way quicker if they just decided to put the sniper rifle like a building closer, so you didn't have to cross the minefield.
And like, if you are going to maybe go all the way back, like, you know, it's cool that there's new, you know, turrets and cameras and all that. That's neat. Add a little bit of a different challenge when you go back, but I don't know, man. Like, where's that ninja dude? Maybe, you know, give me some hints that he's been through here, or something like that, or like, you know, just anything. That's not just like you have to go back and we're just making you just time sync all this, you know, just because we can't have like a 4-hour game or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, like I get what
that just rubbed me the wrong way.
I get what you're saying too. And I did not experience that at all, just because I do think going from the hallway where Meryl was to the armory, I think took like 20 minutes max. Like it didn't really take me that long at all. So, but I see like having the issues with the minefield and like just that frustration, like inflating the time. I get that for sure. And then like finding these other things that you're not vibing with just because it's taking you longer. I definitely get where you're coming from there.
Yeah, like like that was like a super like it was in that span of time that's like, okay, I now understand the need for a remake. Like it's fully thought out right here in this hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, like yes, a remake is needed. 100%. 100%.
I would love to have this remake conversation. I think if you guys don't mind, I feel like maybe next week when we finish it, we can go all out with it. Or because I feel like I see what you're saying, but man, I don't know. There's aspects of this where I feel like a remake is kind of weird to me. But
yeah, because
and like
they did remake it though. That's the thing. They remade it with the quality of life stuff of our Metal Gear Solid 2, and people don't really like it that much. So like, it's an interesting conversation. I think we can absolutely do it more of a debriefing thing next week. But Omar, for you going through the sequence, do you have did you run into any frustrations with the backtracking, but beyond just your experience going through again?
I think I got that codec call saying, "Say, go back and get that PSG-1," and I may have audibly said "fuck off," but going through it, like the most trouble I had was those dogs, going back and forth with those. Yeah. But I don't think it was too bad. But I think Kevin is 100% right. It is needless padding. I think there were suits up there who were concerned that the game was too short. And I think, the whole cutscene to gameplay ratio, I'm pretty sure that it's totally just that. It's just that. Like,
yeah. And like, was there any like unique new items that you could pick up when you backtrack? Like, is there anything that new that comes up in terms of like things that you guys found? Because like, if like even that would justify it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like if there was, besides the sniper rifle, that I'm shocked that you can't get early if you knew where it was or whatever.
Yeah, I think it is just the sniper rifle because you have the higher level access now. But like Jack said, since you are doing the backtrack, like this isn't a spoiler. You're not coming back to this part of the base again. So like if you missed items, like if you missed the silencer or the night vision goggles or anything that you missed, like this is your opportunity to pick those up, which some of them are essential for like late game. So
okay
I think because you've just been thorough, like you benefited from not having to do like an extra sweep, but the incentive would be like if you didn't miss stuff,
right.
So.
Yeah and like I'm totally not even like trying to like really trash the game. I think like at the end of the day, an old game's an old game. And there's just old mechanics that just don't age that well. Just old, just ways that they just developed games or wanted a player to have an opportunity to, get X thing. Just old games are old. So like it is what it is. Like I totally get that. I'm playing a game literally that was developed and put out the year it was born. But yeah, I don't know. That one was it was interesting for sure.
Have you guys all seen Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah,
I have not.
Is Meryl Vin Diesel? Because you leave her on the ground and she's bleeding out and she's like, "Snake, read my letter. I made it for my kid brother."
You're right. You're right.
That's what happens here.
When did they say Pirate Ryan? Is that before this game?
I think it was 96. It might have been 98.
It's like within the same couple of years.
Yeah.
I think it was before though.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah, I fully believe that. Honestly, I think that's a direct inspiration now. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
is just lifted from. Actually, I won't spoil it. Never mind. We'll talk about some Metal Gear Solid.
Right.
Too.
Okay.
There's like the inspiration for Snake is just like stolen, but we'll get into that in the sequel.
One thing I did discover. This isn't an item thing or anything, but it was a complete accident. I was going through, I think during the backtracking, I did run into the issue of stealthing with the box. Like I went through in the armory and I had to pull out a box, and I went over to box B, but that was the one for the other building. So I did run into that experience where if you're using a box labeled for a different building, a guard will open it. So
Sick.
After I died, I switched it back to the A box and I was able to sneak through. But in like some instance, I was calling somebody. I think it might have just been mailing to save. I accidentally hit down on the D-pad, and it's like, oh, I have a phone book for all these codes that I've gained. I've been doing it from memory, and I wrote them down. No,
Are you serious?
No, I wrote them down.
What?
I had them
Holy
because
shit.
I've been taking notes. I have them written down at the top of my first
Wow.
page. All of the codes are right here.
This
That's
man is
awesome.
wow, dude.
Because the thing is,
that's
I
fucking
thought
lit.
there was a shortcut, but like when I had the codec pulled up, I was like pressing a bunch of stuff. I was like, what was the shortcut? I was like,
Oh man.
so
I guess it is pretty cool to like have them all written down, stuff like that.
yeah, because I
I
figured
bet- I
I was
bet
taking
that's a
notes.
lot more
Yeah,
immersive.
I was taking
Yeah,
notes.
for
I might
sure,
as well,
for sure.
you know. I was like, well, why not? But
Christian,
Damn.
that's fair. I went through an entire Pokemon game without the ability to fast travel. So
yeah.
I understand missing things along the way.
Yeah. But that is basically the extent of the backtracking, I think. I didn't have any other things to pull out of that sequence unless you guys want to move on to Sniper Wolf.
I have one.
Yeah.
And it goes back to Kevin talking about the crawling stuff in the mine thing, the minefield. Getting that. Are you guys playing with the D-pad or the analog stick?
D-pad.
D-pad.
Okay,
D-pad.
now I'm wondering if the analog stick does 360 degrees control or not, because I know it supports the analog function on the PlayStation. But yeah, so getting the PSG, right, the sniper rifle in that in that room that needs a security card, the tank hanger B1 or whatever. That laser grid, it's fucked. It's like it's got
Dude,
6 bases.
oh, I know
Yeah.
exactly
With the
what you're
barrels.
fucking talking about.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
With the barrels.
You-
yeah.
You have to like you're
You gotta
crawling, but
thread
you have
that
to.
needle.
Yeah, totally. Like you're going like
gotta-
up left on the D-pad to get that right angle. Like I really wonder. I forgot to check, but I wonder if that analog stick gives you that precision. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, because I can't think of it right now, but does the game... It must have 8 directional movement, right? Because I feel like if you do up and right, you do go diagonally, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I kept
But-
moving like up and then right and then up.
So like
and I was like kind of
snaking,
thread.
kind of like...
I was trying. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was trying to thread.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of
that too.
readjusting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but after that, we got our sniper. We go back to the hallway. Meryl's gone. Blood stains everywhere. And it is the time for the sniper duel. Now,
Fuck this shit.
Fuck
Yeah.
This. Fuck this too, man.
It's awful.
Christian, don't even cap, bro. Are you about to? Are you,
You
about to
can't-
defend?
He had the
this?
tripod. I bet.
no, guys.
Wait, tripod?
Okay.
The diazepam.
Yes.
Yeah, that
yes,
that helps for
yeah.
like that helps for like 15
that helps for like
seconds.
like 20 seconds. It's not even a long time. And then you go off to like
You have six. You
Swing
have
around.
6 pills. You need like 5 shots on her.
You become an addict by the end of this.
I only had to pop
That's
like
pretty true.
4, I think.
I didn't have the
I had
pills.
to use like all of mine.
I didn't know that the next time I would get them, so I only had I think I had like I did not have 6. I know the max was 6. I did not have 6. I think maybe I had like 4 or 5. I used maybe I think I used only 1 when I finally beat her the first time because I knew that I was gonna fight her again. I wasn't sure if I was gonna need it, need those again. So I was just going through like so much like trying to conserve my resources as much as possible that I was like, man, I'll just use that later if I have to, and if not, I'm gonna still use 1 pill to do this. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I didn't
it
take
was
any shots without that because it's hard. That's the point of it. But I was using the pills to like steady the aim. And I don't know if I was just shooting fast or what, but like it didn't go away until after I took my shot. Like I was able to get through it pretty like streamlined. It wasn't really an issue for me at all. Like I was waiting. I was like, okay, if she's gonna run, then I won't pop a pill. But if she's behind cover, I'll pop out, take a pill, aim, shoot, and then do that like 5 times, and she was done. Like I thought it was a good tense. Like it is difficult for a reason on that control scheme, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult because of the lack of mobility with the controller and just like the nature of the D-pad. Like it is tense in a way, but it's not because of the game's doing really. It's mostly because of the lack of ability that you have to control over that. Yeah. So it's more annoying than anything for me.
Also, I just wanted Snake to just equip the PSG-1, right? And you know how you automatically go into ADS, like there's no halfway, right? I wanted him to just lay down straight, but he kept laying down like right or left, and I had to do this slow molasses turn. Yeah. And then I'd get hit like twice, 2-3 times while I'm trying to just turn the camera just to aim where I want to aim in the first place. So like that too, on top of that, yeah. And then I'm definitely with Jack where it was like it was tense, but not for the reasons I think they intended. You know, it was just like this is tense because like it's just hard to control. Not even that like I get, you know, when he would breed, like that's a mechanic that honestly probably started here if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but like that's a very modern thing that is with all snipers in games that totally makes sense. But it was just the lack of like what Jack said, like the lack of movement that I have is just super not that fleshed out, just given the hardware. So it is what it is.
I never found the drugs.
What do you think, Omar?
Yeah, where were the drugs? I missed them.
Holy shit! Wait,
yeah,
I think it was near the bathroom. There was on that floor.
There's some in the bathroom. There's some after the command room where Psycho Mantis was. If you go like down the hallway, there's a ramp that goes inward. There's a bunch of resources there, like there's rations, diazepam, and I think FAMAS ammo. But yeah, I don't think they're ever I don't know where I got them all, but I did have a max out.
The Wolf Den as well.
Yeah,
there's like a secret stash instead of like at the end of the Wolf Den you go right to get out, and if you go down there's like a secret stash of stuff, and I think some diazepams there as well. Yeah. And I think if you call Naomi via Campbell, I think she's the one that tells you to take diazepam. Maybe it's Nastasha, one of the two.
See, I called Nastasha.
I did like that.
She mentioned this thing about a tripod, and that's where I got that idea from. I actually have no idea if that's in the game or not, because I didn't use it or find it. But yeah, I did that whole fight just no drugs, no tripod, just waiting for that trigger. Just waiting for that crosshair to meet. Because like, all right, like limitations of the hardware. But when you're designing that game, when you're making it, like you can give Sniper Wolf a bigger hitbox. If you aren't aiming the crosshair directly on her, it's not a hit. Like I was like within an inch of her sometimes, and I feel like it should have just given me it. But it's pretty brutal about that. Had a hard time with the fight. I was running low on rations the whole time. I don't know. It definitely sucked. I'm with you guys all the way.
Hey, but Omar, you said no to drugs, man. So you know, props to you. Man.
That's the funny thing too, because I called Campbell just to see like if he'd give me a lore dump on her, and Naomi is the one who answered, and she said she talked about the drug, and she said 1 to 4 doses a day, and I was like, I think I used 3, maybe 4, because I accidentally popped one earlier. Like I was going, I think on the backtrack run, I accidentally used one. I was like, oh. That doesn't matter. And then like I when I got to the actual fight, I had still a full 6, but yeah. I was worried that I was gonna like start losing health or something if I had too many of them, or like some weird effect would go on, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but I did not run into that. So once the fight,
feel like-
oh god,
I was gonna say, I feel like Naomi should be able to administer like some nanomachine shit to Snake to be like, oh, you're way more calm now. I don't know. That was just what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like Snake doesn't actually need drugs, so they can administer whatever to him with those genes or whatever. But
because
didn't happen.
there's something in this episode I think where she. Oh yeah. Actually, during the torture sequence, after like when you're in the cell, and if I don't know if this is mandatory or if you just call her, but if you call her, she does say she gives you like Tylenol basically through the nanomachines to like ease the pain.
Should we talk about that now? That one bit, or should we wait? Because
I want to wait. Yeah, because
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good one.
I want to.
That was a good one.
When we get into that, I want to see what you guys heard, because I heard a lot of stuff and I thought it was optional.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Of just like complete lore dump, and I want to see if you guys got that or not. But we can get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the sniper wolf fight wraps up. I don't know how, like, what the exact number is, but you get your shots in, you go on. End of the hallway, there is bloodstains going up the stairs. Did either of you, did anybody go up the stairs to see what was up, or did you just go immediately right? Because I went right.
Yeah, I also went right.
Mm-hmm.
I found out on my second playthrough of doing this, but if you call Mei Ling, she is like, dude, you need to save right now. She says she like gets a premonition or whatever. Didn't do that my first time, but my second time I sure did. But yeah, she's like freaking out. She's like, you need to save right now.
That's good.
Oh
so
shit!
You did that fight twice?
Yep.
Or did you
sure did?
Oh wow!
Oh my god!
Yeah, because my save, I don't think it was that far back, but like I didn't have to backtrack again. But like it was enough far back where I had to redo the sniper wolf fight, which was not fun.
Damn.
And maybe that's why I don't like it.
At that point, I had made like 6-7 minutes of progression out of like an hour and like 40 minutes at that point. So I most definitely saved the fuck out of that game as soon as she was dead, or not dead, but injured enough.
Right.
So I did not hear Mei Ling told me to save because I did that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. And I didn't go up the steps towards the left. I just went to the right. But I did go there eventually. Later on.
Mm-hmm.
I did see what was up there later on. So.
Yeah, because it would make sense that was her walking away, but for some reason I was like, was that like Meryl's blood still? But like, no, we shot like 8 bullets into Sniper Wolf. That was definitely her blood leaving that place,
Yeah, I thought it was Meryl's too for a second. I was like, oh wait, no, Meryl wasn't there. No,
yeah, because the body was gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I thought, because the body was gone. So I thought she might have like lived and escaped, but that is not the case.
Mm-hmm. So we get the cutscene. Snake gets held up by Sniper Wolf and 3 genome soldiers. They get a little bit of interaction. She gets her introduction vocally, talking about what her code is, I guess. She marks Snake for finishing him later. And Snake gets captured and brought in to a torture sequence that is sort of the hub for Foxhound, because we wake up in this table. Revolver Ocelot is there now with one hand. Sniper Wolf is there. Liquid Snake is there. Liquid calls Raven on the horn. They talk about how Psycho Mantis is gone, so that's one down. And also, I don't remember if he's talking to Ocelot about this or Raven on the phone, but he says, like, no more mistakes like Octopus and Baker. So Baker being the arms tech chief, and then Octopus is another member of Foxhound. So presumably Octopus is out.
So I had a question about this, and I'm wondering if it's a spoiler.
I think it is.
Like, do we know? Okay, so we just hear that Octopus is dead.
Yes.
And we don't. That's the context. That's it.
Mm-hmm. So
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Right. Is this part of the lore dump we wanted to go into with Snake and Liquid and everybody in the room?
Sure.
We can do okay. So liquid and solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're
where's gas?
Are they clones? Yeah, right. So like are they clones? I was very like I assume not, because I think they have different voices, right? So I feel like if you were a clone, probably have similar voices, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Follow orders.
You know. So
Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan are brothers. That
they're clones.
Yeah, Christopher has a British accent and Jonathan has an American accent, despite the fact they've lived together like for 20 years. They just kept moving from Chicago and England. Like,
I
don't know. Families.
So what you're
my
saying-
mom has a British accent, but I don't.
Whoa, really? That's
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
so what you're saying is they are clones.
no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Enough of that. No.
But
sorry.
Liquid says something to the effect of, when he's talking about the two, he says the brother of light and the brother of dark.
Yeah,
which is something.
Yeah,
and he also says sons of Big Boss.
Right.
Like,
yes. Are we clones
huge.
of Big Boss?
Maybe.
Good talk, guys.
Well-
Good talk.
Well, before all of that,
They're
like
brothers, clearly.
yeah, before all of that, we're listening to we're overhearing the conversation between like Ocelot and Liquid mainly, and
Right.
it like what they're after is sort of revealed more than just the whole cover of Metal Gear, because Liquid says that the ransom that they're holding Metal Gear for against the US is they want the remains of Big Boss. So it's implied that Foxhound operated under Big Boss, and we'll get to that in a little bit in the prison cell. But yeah, the idea that Liquid, I think he says like Solid Snake stole Liquid's birthright. He says they're brothers. They want Big Boss's DNA. So there is clearly a lot more going on here than just even Metal Gear, because Metal Gear was already a cover, there was already a cover over Metal Gear with the Revolution, and then it is like, oh, it's about the warheads, but now it's about, oh, what's with the Big Boss thing going on. So that's the first introduction of that concept here.
Naomi says jeans a lot.
Yeah, she does. She really does.
She loves talking about jeans.
She does.
How
Boots.
maybe if I'm jumping too far ahead, let me know. But how many times did you guys do the torture sequence, and did you successfully do it?
I
I also did it twice.
I did it twice, and I managed to get through it, no problem. Like, or not no problem, but
too.
like, I didn't give up, I didn't die, so I got through it.
Wait, I'm confused. You're saying, all right, because in my playthrough, I did it successfully, but it took 3 of those sequences, right? 3 times going into the torture chamber and getting tortured.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how it was for you. Yeah. Is that variable?
I think
even I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Christian and I, it sounded like we both did it. We went through like the mandatory one that everyone has to go through, and then we were in the cell, and then we got taken back into the chamber, where Ocelot talks about Les Enfants Terribles.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And then we do the torture sequence, succeed, and then after that we escape.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it sounds like you did.
All right.
You did another one after that. Sounds
No,
like,
I
and
did
then
not
you
know
escaped.
how to use the Heinz bottle, and I went back in.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
you
what
guys-
you're talking about,
okay.
Omar. Yeah.
You had ketchup, right?
Did
No?
did
Christian?
did y'all
No,
have ketchup?
I did. I didn't use it though.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't use it to get out?
No.
What the fuck?
I did. Well, kind of. I did a little bit.
I
There's
never.
a couple ways you can get out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay.
what happened to like? Do you want to explain the ketchup thing? Because I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Sure.
It's cool as fuck.
Should I explain my whole torture sequence then, real quick?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
ahead.
Because if you had a third
Yeah,
one
okay.
too, like, is there more lore? Because Jack and I saw like Ocelot talking about his like the Russian pride and how he wants He wanted more than just boss. He wanted like, we want to incite a revolution in Russia to become a global superpower and reign supreme.
I thought that
There's
was the
also,
last one, right?
Cyborg Ninja stuff as well.
Is there?
Yes.
Yeah, like really big cyborg ninja stuff.
Like I'm talking
the last
specifically
one-
in the chamber, like
Yeah.
on the table.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, in the chamber, I can't really quite remember. I think the last one was about like how Ocelots like fought in Afghanistan.
Oh
or
yeah, I
something?
didn't get that.
Is that one of them?
I don't think so.
You never got that one.
He gives the code name he used to have.
Shalatuska?
Yes.
You didn't get that?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So yeah, Jack, I feel like we might have the... Are you sure you did it twice? Or does it... Maybe it mixes it up. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
it could be variable.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So first torture sequence, I get out. First torture sequence, I mass circles correctly. I don't submit. Then I go back to the cell, and then do some codec calls. Then I go back in to get tortured. Same thing. I mass circle. Then I get out successfully, and then Otacon shows up. Did you get this?
Yes, but
No?
I did because I called Otacon after my first. Like I went through the rotation when I was in the cell after the first torture sequence, and when I got to Otacon, he said, "Oh, I'm nearby. I'll come to you." And I had to I saw the guard doing his loops in that first cell visit, and he wasn't showing up. And I was trying to like do stuff in the cell, nothing was happening. And I called him again, and he's like, "Hey, I'm coming. Calm down." And then I got dragged into a second one.
A second torture sequence?
Yes, on the second return to the cell, that's when Otacon showed up for me, and I got all the items, but I didn't use them.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't really get a chance to use them either, but I mean, yeah, I think I ended up, all I was doing was, whenever I got back to the cell, I just put my back up to the wall and just kept knocking a bunch to see if it would speed things up. And then I went in for my third torture sequence and did that successfully. And then eventually after that, I went back to the cell, and then Gray Fox opened the door for me.
Oh.
I think. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. No?
That's the
Wait.
I think that is the most amount of attempts like that you can get through, and then he just does that. Because I had to look this up. Yeah, because I just didn't know what to do. I tried hiding under the bed, and that didn't seem to work for me until it did.
Yeah, same.
So that's how you...
Yeah, that...
Yes.
Well, I failed, so I hid under the bed, jumped out, tried to beat the dude. He ran out, closed the door. He's like, "Sorry," and I was like, "Awesome, sweet." And then eventually, I made it out with the ketchup.
Yeah, so I was able to get out from hiding under the bed because what happens is after Otacon comes to you, and he hears the guard coming from the bathroom, and Otacon's gone. Like nothing's happening. You're just waiting for this guy to come back in to patrol on you. I hid under the bed, and then we walked by the glass. He was like, "Wait, nobody's in there. What happened?" And then he goes and opens the door, comes in the room, and he's like looking around. And I snuck out when he was like looking towards the north, and I was able to sneak behind him a little bit. And then I didn't CQC. I beat him up a couple times, and then he almost got out to shut the door, but then I did the chokehold, and I could escape. So
okay. So your boy messed up really bad here. Okay. So what happened was right. I don't know. I had a very, very dumb moment here in this one. When I saw the word submit, right? I wasn't thinking like submit like to quit. I thought submit was like, hey, like
submit a term paper.
Here's your physical like progress report. Like you're able to sustain, damage. Like here it is. I don't know why I thought like that. I'm an idiot. But I was mashing it. Things are going well. I'm like, okay, cool. Like things are going well. Let me submit my progress report. And that's not the result I got. So I think Meryl's dead for me. Like for real. I think.
Whoa.
I think so because
right? Yeah. That's what chat was telling me. Chat was like, "Oh, like you like dead ass like killed her."
Yeah, because
I'm like, okay, well, all right.
Before you start, Ocelot's saying, "Try to survive. If you submit, we'll kill Meryl." So it's like, oh, she's actually still alive. But no, he says that's what he says. So,
Yeah. Because later on, that I think is more so confirmed because like. This is way at the end. Cyberpunk told me that like, yeah, I intentionally was missing those shots. I don't kill for sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was trying to get you out so I can kill you. So I think I definitely killed Meryl. So that was L number 1. So how mine went, I never went back to the torture chamber. So I think with mine, okay, did you guys get the DARPA chief body in your cell too?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everyone got that. I was trying to get out. I can't make any noise. The guard kept letting me know to be quiet. Then eventually, Otacon comes with some food for me. He thought I was hungry. That's where I got the ketchup and the handkerchief. The ketchup, I don't think this was said, but what you're supposed to do, Christian, is that when the guard is not looking, you're supposed to use the ketchup on the floor and then lay down. So the guard thinks that you're dead. Then he comes in and you're able to get the jump on him. I tried that. He saw me lay down the ketchup and was like, "Stop playing with your food." So
Had the same thing.
that didn't work. And then eventually the guard has to go to the bathroom because he like ate something wrong or like is sick. He goes to the bathroom. Otacon comes again. I think he's the one that takes him out, actually. I don't know if it's him or if it's the ninja. I forgot which one of the two. The ninja's Gray Fox, right? Or am I tripping? Or is that wrong?
Well,
that's right.
If you do the codec calls, like I think it's between the first and second. Maybe it's the first one. Yeah. You get like a massive lore dump, and this is what I was referring to earlier in the episode.
Like about like his friend, right? And like they're that thing. Okay, right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because you get the Gray Fox Frank Yeager like confirmation from Campbell and Naomi, and this is in reference to like the original Metal Gears on like the and whatever system that was, like the random system that came out for. But yeah, it's like you get that in a codec call. Like that's not that, and it seems optional unless I'm mistaken. But I feel like that's pretty integral to the story.
Yeah, I got it in a codec call also, and that was because I was just doing my rounds to see who could help me. Like, I think when I was doing that in the first time, in the first return trip, that's when Naomi was talking about giving me painkillers, I think. Or it might have been the second one, I forget. Cause he's
with
like,
the controller?
Yeah, because he's like, my arm hurts.
Did you guys do that?
Absolutely. It was so sick. Same. I thought, like... So, you guys don't have vibration, right?
No.
Like, it's not really that cool, to be honest, but I had a great time. It's like, she's like, hold the controller up to your arm to administer the painkillers. And I was just eating that shit up, going, all right, Naomi. It's fucking awesome. Just vibrates on my arm. I didn't get.
Well,
I know.
Yeah.
I forgot which codec call I got this with, but like, this is where I saw like a lot of like the, like softer side of Snake where he says like, oh, not having a good time. Meryl's fucking dead. It's all my fault. I think he's talking to Naomi, but he says, hey, just talk to me. Tell me something about yourself.
Yeah.
Like get my mind off things, whatever. And like I get more background about why she likes Jean so much because she's trying to figure out who she is as a person, all that. I thought that was a really cool moment. I thought that was some really good like character building.
For sure. I there was one line I liked. I think there's two lines actually. I think in the second torture sequence, Ocelot's like, "There's no Geneva Convention now," or something like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing was when I first called Campbell and it was like Snake like confronted me. He's like, "Hey, I know you're not telling me stuff. Like, talk to me." The line I liked a lot was he was talking to Campbell and he said, "So patriotism is your excuse for circumventing the Constitution." Great line. Very good.
Fire. Yeah.
I really like when sorry. All right, my bad.
Sorry, no, go for it.
I was just gonna say the moment I think is like someone asked Snake if he has any friends, and he goes, "Yeah, Roy Campbell. And then Roy Campbell comes in the call and goes, oh, so you're still calling me your friend, huh?
Then he like smiles a little bit. That's so good.
Roy
Such a nice
Campbell.
moment.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's such a good name.
I thought the gameplay mechanic of the torture sequence, so far to me, is like the worst thing about this game. Like, pretty terrible. Because of course games have gotten better at this, but this is just like a huge accessibility issue. Like, to make the player like rapidly tap a button over and over again, which for me at least was strenuous. I can't even imagine what this would be like for someone with like mobility disabilities who just simply can't do that, and is seemingly punished for using a controller that would allow you to do that, because that's what Ocelot says, like, don't use a turbo controller.
Instant die apparently.
Yeah, so that's pretty terrible, but of course like games have gotten better at that. But still, like, going back and playing that, it's very glaring, and even for someone like me who can and did manage to do that, it was a workout in a way. So I didn't really care for that. And this is one of those things where if this game was remade, like, that has to go, because that's just not good. Or like the game needs to let you do that, because
Press and
like
hold, something like
it locks you into seemingly the bad ending, like having Meryl die. Like, so it's just it's not good. It's not good. It doesn't age well.
No, it doesn't. I had to break out the Mario Party mini game skills of just like the rapid pressing, like it's stressful. It's strenuous. Yeah.
I'd like to think I got an interesting ending. You know what I'm saying? I think I got an ending that I think sculpts Solid Snake in a bit of a bear. You know, a little tragedy can go a long way, for your uphill trajectory. So I think, overall,
I'm glad at least one of us has that ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I died during my first time in that torture, like the first, like the third round of torture. I ended up not being able to succeed, which booted me out. It's just, there's no continues. It's just game over. So that's when I realized that my last save wasn't in any of the last 2 cell visits. It was right after I killed Sniper Wolf, which was better than your save point, I guess, Jack, but still sucked where I had to go back and then, skip all that cutscene talk and do the torture sequence twice over. And yeah, it was rough. Oh, and one time accidentally, like while I was doing the Mario Party minigame thing, like I had to stand up to do it to really get myself in a power stance and mash that controller.
Yeah.
And my dumbass left hand totally hit the submit button during one of those. So that was another reset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a shame.
The only thing we haven't touched on in the lore dump that I thought is interesting and is worth bringing up is that I believe it's when we're talking to Naomi, Snake, like, he talks about his father and he's like aware. He's like, yes, Big Boss presumably is my dad. He told me that, and then I killed him because he wanted it or something like that. Like, it was a really interesting conversation. Naomi's like, that's petricide. Snake's like, yep. So yeah, Kevin, it is like reaffirming the idea that's introduced with the torture room of like, oh no, Snake is like the descendant of Big Boss, apparently. So
interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
We missed one dump in this sequence.
What else was it?
The dump. Get it? That guy needs to take a shit. He's going,
Yes, fucking
it's so funny.
Well done. Well done.
Wait, so I don't know if you guys are cool with answering this. I guess like this might be, I guess, a little bit spoilery. I don't know. Is this whole line of games going backwards? Like, is this like Snake on like his last mission or like something like that, and then like the rest of the series we're going backwards, or are we moving forwards in the chronological timeline? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
we go all over the place. Okay,
right. I mean, this game is framed in a way where it's like the the third Metal Gear, right? And I think it's the idea of like Snake was retired, but they're calling him back in. And he's all that backstory about him being that world respected soldier is all in the previous 2 games. But yeah, then they ended up making. I think Kojima didn't even want to, but they ended up making like 4 more games after this, right? Like, I think in a lot of ways this was supposed to be like the finale to Metal Gear, but yeah,
because like it feels like it feels like a last game in an installment. You know, it definitely does. Like in terms of like it's, you know, throwing out a lot of terms and things, like they're not going super in depth on explaining, but they're just throwing out there just to have it. You know, not just to have it, but like just, you know, that's what it is, and we won't tell you more. At least seemingly. So it definitely does have like a last game in the series vibe to it that I wasn't sure if we're gonna be doing like a backwards run throughout the series. You know.
Yeah, because I believe this, like Omar said, I think this was the 3rd Metal Gear game, and then Metal Gear Solid was like the thing they ran with for the titles, because Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 are the ones Jack brought up earlier with like Zanzibar, Frank Yeager, that's all in there. I haven't played those because they were on like the MSX and the NES, and I can't imagine how in depth they get with the story. Outside of just like the scenario and maybe stuff like in the game manual, because most NES games that I have played don't really have a big story component to them. But like Jack or Omar, do you have any experience with those?
I played a little bit of it today actually. With I was kind of curious. I went and played about 5 minutes of Metal Gear MSX on the. It's in that HD collection. I was like, okay, all I can tell you is it has a great soundtrack, but. Did not seem very fun to play. At some point, I'll play him, but yeah, there's dialogue in there for sure, but I don't think there's too much. I don't know, Jack. Have you played him or?
I genuinely tried playing Metal Gear, like the original MSX game, like what you said, like on the I have the Legacy collection, so via the HD collection within that, I tried to play it and just couldn't. I don't think it holds up compared to like other NES games that are out there. So I actually watched a playthrough of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 to get the story before going into Metal Gear Solid. And I'd recommend it. I think you can just kind of scrub through and then just get the main story beats, probably under an hour, maybe each game, I would say.
Yeah, I've actually never gone through to see it, but I'm just aware of like from wikis and stuff, like the takeaways from them, but I might actually do that. So
they are like in the grand scheme of the Metal Gear franchise, they are important, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, they have importance to them story wise.
Yeah, honestly, though, I think Kevin, I've talked with you about this, and I think Jack and Omar also. But like, if we do end up getting a Blue Point Metal Gear thing, I'd rather have them do those two and like really flesh those out to really like bridge all the gaps. But we'll see what happens. So are we ready to move on from the torture sequence then?
Sure.
Can I say one thing about that dump guy?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a future spoiler, but I really can't resist.
Yeah.
Just hinting at it. Do you mind? Do you guys mind?
Go for it.
That is that
I know.
dump guy.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He's one of the most important characters in the franchise.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, yes, and that's half a joke, but also no.
Like throughout like the like entire like even like MGS5.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
For real?
Wow. Like, okay. kind of MGS5,
very
but
very influential.
Yeah.
Damn, for real? Okay.
Comes back.
Okay. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
The game has a weird sense of comedy, and it only gets weirder. I don't know.
Well,
sorry.
Managing to escape. We get a call from Deep Throat. That's like, hey, there's a bomb in your inventory. I forgot about that. I went through my inventory too after I got everything back. I didn't even notice that there was a bomb in there.
Wait, what are you guys talking about?
You might have already got rid of it. During when you're going through the minefield, I think Deep Throat calls you, right?
I was in an elevator.
Oh, really?
Same.
Oh, huh. Maybe I was.
I was in
think
the,
I was
the armory,
I
I think.
It was in the minefield for some reason.
I don't think I got a call from him about any type of bomb.
Maybe because of your ending, that might have influenced, or the
Yeah,
torture
something.
sequence that might have influenced that for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think I got a call from him about anything like that. Interesting. Interesting.
Jack, since you were also in the elevator when you got that call, I threw the bomb out and then I went to change the floor. And as the cutscene for the elevator was going, I did get another codec call that I missed. Did you get a second one after you threw the bomb away or what?
So I actually got it like immediately after I got out of the elevator. I was backtracking, like just trying to open up doors and stuff. I don't recall that particular codec call.
Okay.
It might have been in reference to, like, I think Snake might have called Campbell and been like, there was a bomb in my inventory. And I think Campbell was like, oh yeah, Otacon probably did that to mess with you. Or sorry, not Otacon. Ocelot.
I was like, wait, him?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about our boy. I don't know.
Yeah, Otacon and
Huge
Snake are
intel
just
meme
like
maneuver.
they're just like going for a jackass thing now. It's like, I fucked you over, buddy. Like,
Maybe Ocelot slips it in while you're being tortured, and maybe that's why I didn't get it. Like maybe on like the second or third time, maybe he slips it in there.
maybe, yeah.
Perhaps, I don't know, but
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. I mean, I'll go back and check and see if I have it in my inventory still, but I don't think I do.
I mean, I
I did not notice it.
I think it would have exploded because it was on a timer.
Oh yeah, no.
I think it would
Yeah,
have like
no.
a 60-second timer. So, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There was another codec call on the way out because we have to move back forward to the communications tower. From Naomi again. She went further into her family, and like Miller hopped in on this call. Did you guys get this one too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And it was a lot of like Naomi saying some things that seemed a little contradictory. Did anybody pick up on that?
Yeah. She mentioned like earlier in the game that she didn't have any family, and then she started talking about like her grandfather, and then I think Miller, like what you said, Christian's the one who jumped in and was like, didn't you say you didn't have any family? And she's like, oh, I was researching them, later on in life.
Mhm.
And yeah, she just seems like super sus right now.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
Given that she's like withholding a bunch of information to Snake about like a plethora of things, it's like, I would appreciate the information so I don't die.
Yeah. But was there anything of note for you, Kevin, or anybody else after this going to the comms tower? Because I think the next thing, and the thing that gave me the most frustration this week was the tower, like getting up the tower.
That staircase?
Yeah. Like I was manageable, but I got to the roof with no like a hair of health left. I almost had to wipe because
Same.
I managed to get through because I hadn't used my stun grenades at all. So I was just like chucking stun grenades, throwing other grenades back down. Like it was just really stressful. It wasn't really tedious or anything. It was just like I cannot miss one throw with these, or else I'm gonna have to do it over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nah, I did the same thing as you. I was trying to conserve the priority items in my inventory as much as possible.
Right.
I figured the stuns probably be the best bet. I don't want to waste ammo killing all these guys, so I'll just stun them and keep going. Yeah, that's a really long tower. That's a tall tower.
Yeah, dude.
To last stairs. It's a lot. I think it's like 21. Also, a nice touch on each like floor. It has the number of it has numbers on the staircase. Like when you get to like a landing,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense, like stairs be like 10 and then 11.
Oh.
Like so, I thought that was a nice touch that they had there. But yeah, that was a lot of stairs. That was a lot.
Mm-hmm. Thankfully, it was less than the 100 floors of Final Fantasy VII. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Omar, go ahead.
I hear you.
Oh, I was gonna say, I bet you that staircase, walking up it is probably like is the same amount of steps to get from one end of Shadow Moses to the other. It was
Yeah, it was
an
a
insane
lot.
amount of steps.
It really was.
I
Yeah.
don't know how they fit that on a PS1 disc. To be honest, that staircase never went. Like, crap.
Yeah, that the thing I don't like about that is how it's like a forced situation, because I died the first time I tried, and then I threw a chaff grenade because you get spotted by the camera. I threw a chaff grenade before I even walked in there and let it go off, and it still gets you because the game wants you to get caught. Yeah, it's just one of those things I don't think it ages very well, and I did what you guys did. I just kept running and chucking stun grenades. At a certain point, I didn't even bother to start shooting people. Just kept running.
Yeah,
But
like
not fun.
I don't know if that was designed to drain some of your stacked up inventory by the time you got to the roof. So like it was a little more stressful when you had to fight, like run away from the helicopter. Like I'm assuming that's what the choice was there design wise. Because I was every like 3 flights I had to ration basically, and I drained all my grenades. So
Yeah.
Do you guys, when you're in that situation, did you have like the rations as your equipped inventory so that like if you lose like all your life, it just auto replenishes so you don't die?
Yeah, I had that on whenever I didn't need anything else. I would just default to just rations on that, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
There was one case where I definitely died in front of a door because I was quickly equipping my door card.
yeah,
But
yeah, that almost happened to me too. So I got to a point where I just had the card equipped all the time, and if I was low, I rationed. But yeah.
Ooh, wait. Sorry. I didn't cut you off.
Oh, I was done.
Snake conceals how the cards work to Ocelot as well. In that, I thought that was really clever. Ocelot was like, "Oh, like I don't understand like how his key card works," and Snake's like, "I don't know either. I was just given it."
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. I was like, okay, cool, nice.
It's really interesting, that entire sequence, because there is a lot to mine from like all the throwaway lines that all the characters have. But
yeah,
we have a new directive. We have to just destroy Metal Gear, and blocking our way is this helicopter, the Hind. But first, we have to die hard our way out of that roof and use that rope to climb on down.
I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
What? Cool, I guess. I mean, did not know how to control. Like, I barely understood how to do that, but it looked
barely
cool.
understood it.
Yeah.
This is Metal Gear's answer to Spider-Man 1 on the PS1, where you climb up the wall from the helicopter.
Yep.
I do like that poetry that Kojima was going for. That all rhymes, of course.
Of course. Yeah. So once you ground yourself, you have another walkway that you have to cross with some soldiers planted on the end. How did you guys manage this? Because you take any like more than 10 steps and you're lit up.
Dude, this one sucks too. It's like, how are you supposed to know that there's people over there? Like, I thought the Hind was shooting at me, right? The first time, because I never got far enough into the bridge to even see them. So I was like, okay, homeboy, Otacon's like, hey, get the stinger in like a small room near the entrance of the walkway. So I was looking around the door that was frozen over, and you get open with the C4, right? I was because I thought that was the door that he was talking about. So I was looking for a small room to find the stinger, because I thought that the Hind was right there. Couldn't find it. I went all the way down the stairs. Couldn't find it. I went all the way up the stairs. Couldn't find it. I'm like, man, wait, like, where is the stinger? And then chat was like, hey, no, like that's not the Hind. Those are enemies shooting at you. And I was like, come on, man. Like, come on now. Like, come on. So yeah, that was that.
Omar, how did you deal with this?
I used the sniper rifle, I think. But yeah, could you have used like Nikita on them? I actually don't know.
I used the Nikita.
I think you
on them.
could use
That's what I
Nikita.
did.
Wow.
Yeah, I used that on them.
Did that all three of them at once?
No, they all require 3 hits.
You can get
With a
collateral
rocket
though.
launcher.
You can get collateral because I was able to get 2 of them out with the same 3, and then the last one I just had to do like 2 more on, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
I used a sniper. After.
Yeah, so it was finicky though with a sniper because like you take one shot and then they notice you, and I think they kept running around afterwards, or one of them ran off a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
It's
Yeah,
like
so
kind of
there's one of
frustrating
these-
because. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
When did these guards become like sharpshooters all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Like where they could see you across the map?
they got
It's just like
Yeah.
they got that DNA genome update, man. That's what they got.
clearly. Yeah, they got that patch 1.2.5.
I think like an easy fix would be like give me the exclamation points as I'm walking on the bridge, and give me 3 of them so okay, hey, there's 3 homies there.
hmm
At least like give me that so I know that all right, there's 3 because you hear the hind as well
Right.
on that bridge too. I just thought it was the hind that was mowing me down, which would make sense, but that did not know there was elite sharpshooters here. I guess so.
Do you guys use the scope at all? Because like sometimes I'll go first person just to like see what's up in a room. Like in the hallway with the cameras, I was doing that a lot. Like I just go first person and look up to see if I get shot by cameras. Like I think the scope or maybe the night vision goggles could have helped there to like suss it out. But I don't think I ever really pull up the scope outside of that first cutscene.
I think I pressed triangle and I saw him. I think I saw that the bridge looked like too long, and I was like, let me go first person. And I think I saw him with that,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really use the scope though, and that I think it's a forgettable item because
Yeah.
I feel like first person helps enough, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Once we get across the walkway though, that is time for the hind fight. The stinger, like Kevin mentioned, you're able to get after you cross the bridge in the next room, and then you have another stairwell to climb. Right? Is that what happens? Or you run into Otacon there by the elevator, and he's like, "I'll fix the elevator. You go take care of this thing."
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Otacon catches up to you. I think here he like talks a little more about Sniper Wolf, and he's like opening up a little
Don't
bit.
kill her.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
I'm
where we
like-
get Love Can Bloom on a Battlefield.
Yeah.
This is it.
It was like, oh yeah, like Algon's like, oh, I have a question for you, and then yeah, that whole thing.
Mhm.
Interesting stuff.
What a dork.
Right?
Can love
Okay,
really
you're-
bloom on a battlefield? Come on. Go watch your anime.
Love balloon on the battlefield.
Yeah, and then Snake's just like, sounds like
Oh, man.
Stockholm Syndrome to me, or something. Like, it's just a really weird scene, but like,
What a great friend Snake is.
yeah.
Oh man.
But again, it's another one of those moments, I think, where I think, Omar, I think you brought it up last episode, where just like there's that weird wholesomeness between the two of them, like with the Cyborg Ninja introduction.
Yeah.
hmm
They're bros.
Yeah, they're really tight. So do we want to talk about the hind fight then?
Shockingly not that bad, to be honest. Pretty much straightforward. I think like when it gets down to like half health, it starts doing that thing where it goes like under the building for a little bit.
Mhm.
And it looks like it's clipping under it, like literally. I don't know if it is doing that, but it looks like it's doing that at least. So that gives you time to at least get the ration that's over there, like towards the middle, or get the ammo that respawns when you're out of stinger ammo as well, over towards the towards like the perch walkway, towards like the bottom of the play space. But yeah, no, it was really weird. Because I'm like, yeah, okay, it's called a stinger, but like I doubt it's gonna like shoot a little bit and then do the second boost, like in COD.
Mhm.
But it fucking did. I was like, oh shit, okay, like that's like really cool. I was like, oh shit, okay, it's like a dead ass stinger. Like that's cool.
Mhm.
I thought it was just gonna be like a RPG, like esque thing. But no, like I thought that was really impressive how they got it to look like a real. I've only seen a stinger in COD, so that's my reference. But it looked like the one in COD, so I assume it's a real life thing, But It was good. It was cool.
Mhm.
It was cool.
Yeah, Omar, how did you deal with the hind fight?
Yeah, I think I kind of went bad for me. I think I nearly had I only had like one ration by the end of it left. I think I got into this loop of like, trying to bait them out or stand in one place to make sure the helicopter, the hind comes out, and then I would maybe shoot, but sometimes I couldn't lock on fast enough or something to struggling with the camera controls basically, and the hind would get a few shots in on me. But yeah, it was it was tough for me. I don't know. Definitely easier than Sniper Wolf, but man, tough. But it looked cool, so that was neat.
Yeah, this is the fight of the week that gave me the most difficulty. I died like 3 times here.
Wow.
Interesting.
Like, it is just a waiting game, I think, and that's why it's a little tricky, because if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're just like, he melts your health, basically. And Omar, like you, I only had like 1 ration left, and it was the one on the roof at that point, I think, because the climb up that tower is the climb with all the security cameras. So that's another thing where I had to like heal up on my way up, but...
I see. Okay.
That sucked, by the way. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talk about that.
That fucking sucks. Yeah. That sucks. I had a lot of chafes, so after the first one, I took it a little bit slow up the rest and saw that there was, the next one there's 2 turrets and then 3 and then 4. So I just started using chafes on those to get through that. But that part sucks because like there's no.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they give you like a good amount of like info to tell that there's going to be turrets there, it seems like kind of cheap where like turn the corner, boom, you're already getting shot at, I don't know.
After that first one, I was checking a lot.
Your radar is disabled during that, so you can't even see the cones. I was like,
yeah.
You have to use first person to like. I got hit by the first one, and I was like, oh, I see. And then I used chaff grenades, and then I found out that the duration of the chaff grenade would let you proceed until the very next turret.
Really?
And then I would look up again and keep throwing. But yeah, it is annoying because like it's kind of just unneeded.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't really need to do that, and then you have to do it twice. So yeah, it's annoying.
And on my way up, I didn't have any chaff grenades, so I was just tanking it. Like I had nothing I could do.
Damn.
Big yikes. Big yikes.
But
that sucks.
Yeah, the hind fight is absolutely the most difficulty I had, I think, this week.
I think you're right, Christian, with that fight. Like, I think the staircase, the first staircase, like with all the guards that you have to fight, I think that was like what you're saying is designed in a way to like deplete you of resources, because I was with you and Omar, like I had like 1 ration for this fight. And I think they give you 1, so I had like 2. And it's not particularly hard, and I think that's why they had the staircase before it, just to make it harder. And yeah, that in a way, I feel like this is probably my least favorite fight in the game so far, just because it's not fun and it's not particularly challenging, and I think it takes way too long. Like I wish it was like 5 fewer hits for the hind, and then I would be like, great fight. But it was just too long, and the gameplay surrounding it, leading up to it, was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Definitely too long. I think I just got fortunate, and like, after I went through the hour and a half earlier, I was on a conserve anything that is useful, that is useful, like throughout. So that went with rations too. So I was really trying to conserve everything, use like my ever last bit of health always. Never call in a ration if I don't need it to live right now. So I had like 4 or 5, but after the fight, it brought me down to I think like 2 or 1. So there were times where I was getting hit by the hind, but I was doing more damage to him than he was doing to me. So ultimately, like it was all good. But yeah, that's how mine went down. I just think I just had an easier time just because I was just being super careful because I didn't want to get stuck or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, like Omar said, it makes up for it because it looks cool. And then at the end, we get that line that takes care of the cremation. I love that one too.
Yeah, that's
really good.
That's good stuff.
And I think all that's left in our play session for the week is Sniper Wolf 2. So do you just want to get into that?
How could they make an even worse Sniper Wolf fight?
Even worse.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even worse.
this is the one that was harder for me because it was like finding her that was the issue. But
Oh my god.
I still have the
this is
diazepam,
much
so
fun.
after I found her,
It's
it wasn't as hard.
yeah.
But
Can you do
I
that
mean,
fight without getting
I-
hit? I doubt it, right? Like,
Yeah, no, like, because
There's
the
no
way
way.
I did it, I went to the like right hand corner of the screen, and there was like a little cliff that was like blocking one way, and I just sat there and just waited for her to come out, and it took super long. And yeah, you basically like have to get hit at certain points
Yeah.
to like draw her out, or yeah, even moving around, like you get hit once in a while.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. Of course, the very, very slow turning whenever you equip the sniper, that I was having huge problems with, that I think are much more high in tier in this fight, just at how wide the space is and like how many and just the amount of hiding spaces that she could be at. That like slow turning really felt it here. But yeah, this one took me I think like 3 or 4 tries. This one, like, it wasn't particularly, I'd say, like really hard, but it was just kind of frustrating, just given the slow aim moving and all that. And I think I know I used up like all of my like whatever, the things that give me have like that let me have like a steady aim or whatever. I think I used up all those when she was like around half, and I just had to suck it up and just do the crappy aiming to kill her and take out the other half of the health. But yeah, not my favorite fight. Definitely not.
Omar, how'd you fare?
I think I did it in 2 tries. It sucked a lot. Like I still didn't have the drugs, so I would get shot, and sometimes I'm lying down and the scope goes all crazy around the place. I can't actually drag it back to her in time. I feel like it's hard to track her, I think, in that map. It's too big. It's tough. I don't know. This is my least favorite Metal Gear fight so far.
Really?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. Finding her was absolutely hard, and Kevin, the slow maneuvering, like I got to the point where, because in the first one I was just hugging the corner, so like I didn't have to move too much. But it got to the point with this fight where I was just unequipping the sniper when I was laying down, and then just turning Snake that way because it was just faster, and then bringing the sniper back up when I had like a general direction she was in. But
I swear I was trying to do that, but it was always just left or right.
really,
I would aim at like the wall on the opposite. I'm like, this is not even the way that Snake is facing right now. like why are we doing this? I don't know.
yeah.
I just thought like maybe this is just another way to make it more difficult, I guess. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that kept happening to me. I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's all good. We got through it. We're good. Got through it.
So
I had some choice words. Yeah, I told you guys off recording, but this was a toxic stream. Like this was pretty toxic. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't say anything like heinous about Sniper Wolf, but like I had some choice words. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
yeah, I'm sad that you had a bad experience with it because like honestly, I think the scenario carries it for me a lot, but like she is probably my favorite of Foxhound out of all of them. Like Liquid aside, but like I like her in this game specifically out of the batch, she's probably my favorite.
I do think she's really cool. Yeah,
and I do like the idea of a sniper battle, and I feel like a remake would fix that a lot. But yeah, I feel bad you guys had a bad like go about with diazepam stuff because like I was having a great time. I wrote down, I was like, man, I love this. But
Itself?
mainly the first one. Like the second one was harder, but just the scenario of it I do like a lot, and I had a great time doing it.
Yeah,
just
all
like
the
imagine. So what?
Oh, I was all the scenario, just the mechanics of it. I struggled with severely, but like you want to talk about Sniper Wolf, like when I think Metal Gear Solid, it's that Sniper Wolf last cutscene.
Yeah.
Like that shit's awesome to me. But
Yeah, no, it's hype. It's hype. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I definitely like
Yeah,
Sniper
I
Wolf a lot, but like, no. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
I think the character of Sniper Wolf, I agree with. I think we all agree that like that the emotions during that that sequence are pretty good, and I think they're sort of the standout cutscene so far. I like the line where Snake says something to the effect of like, if she's comparing herself, she's basically saying like she was like inadequate as a sniper, as like a professional, and Snake was like, "You're not a wild dog, you're a wolf," and it's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
he gives her that peace of mind, like on her deathbed, and I did it speaks to how Snake kind of, and with basically anyone in this, I don't want to say line of profession, but I guess I'll say that for lack of a better term, like sort of respects each other. Like Christian, you made the pretty good comparison to Assassin's Creed, like when you assassinate someone in those games when they're on their deathbed, you're kind of having a heart to heart, and that's a spot on comparison, Christian, because it's definitely you definitely see that in this game.
Yeah.
Kevin, were you gonna add to it?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I forgot. This was one of the scenes that, like, although I didn't like the boss fight, I would love to see this in like a hypothetical remake, right? Like, imagine like the Tilu 2 sniper fight you have as Abby, and you're sniping with Tommy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
Like,
yeah.
Imagine that level of like intensity in like a remake. Like, I think that'd be great. I think that'd be really cool to see, but we obviously don't have that. But I like Sniper Wolf a lot. I think this is gonna obviously just build into now this conversation of like, you know, just one thing I want to say that I thought was really cool about Sniper Wolf was that like the thought process of like how she picks a target, and I think Alakhan says that like she obsesses over her target, and like that's all she thinks about. She can go a week without sleeping or eating or drinking, and just, you know, posting up, waiting for a target to reveal him or herself. And even to a point of like she could start to like fall in love with this target. Like, I thought was like, that's such a like weird Kojima thing that obviously I've only played 2 games, Death Stranding and this, but like it reminded me so much of like a weird like quirk that like Hartman had, where like he dies every like 21 minutes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like cool stuff like that I think like what I thought about a lot is that like I bet Kojima, like how he starts with characters is that he thinks of like a memorable name and then a weird quirk, you know, and then it's like, okay, like you can, you know, say that name, or like if you forget, oh yeah, the one that like, you know, stalks her targets, and like you know, can go so and so days without eating, and then like falls in love with them and stuff like that. Like, I think it's really cool to see how he develops like characters, like with interesting name and then like a really weird quirk that you're gonna remember, that like it's definitely gonna stick, like Revolver Ocelot, you know. I'll never forget him like twirling his fucking pistol around, you know. It's like, yeah, like that's such a memorable thing, and that like makes me remember that character, you know.
So like Batman villains.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. She is super iconic, and I do feel bad. Like, I'm glad that the mechanics didn't bring it down, like that aspect of it, of like the enjoyment of her arc. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys, didn't have a good experience with it.
It's like this game is, oh damn, like the concept of Metal Gear Solid 1 is like fantastic, right? I'm still in it for the story and the characters, everything. It's just like the game it's unfortunately housed in is, you know, got some cracks, and it's, you know, seen some better days, you know. That's the thing.
For sure. Was there any other excerpts out of the Sniper Wolf sequence at the end? Like, obviously there's her whole thing with Otacon and him watching her die and all that stuff, but
I like how she
That-
barely acknowledges him. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. It seems
was
very
like, bro,
one-sided.
I was like, she don't even love you, bro. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she don't even care about you. Oh man. Yeah, I know my chat was calling Otacon a simp and stuff like that. I was like, oh man. Shout out to Otacon. I think so far my favorite quote is at the very, very end, where Otacon's like, "What are you even fighting for, Snake?" And then Snake's like, "If I make it out of this alive, and if I do this, I'll let you know." Like it's like, holy shit, okay. And like this cool ass, like, Snake like tells him that and just walks into the walks into the distance. And that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, yo, that's so fucking dope. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll say this is the best way to leave off, for us at least, like our playthrough, because it's like, wow, that is a close the book, like go to bed. That's a great chapter to leave off on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm glad we're all on the same page as far as the cutscene goes and all that stuff, because it is, I think, Omar, you said this also, like, this is what I think of, like, when I think of Metal Gear Solid 1, because the way the cutscene plays out, the way it ends off, all the lore dump about Sniper Wolf, and Jack, what you were saying about, like, the way everybody sort of has this mutual understanding, like, I really like that, and that was, like, a constant thing this week, as far as the story goes, because we got that with Frank Yeager and the backstory of all that. And it's been nice breaking it up this way, I think, because it's peeling back the layers of Metal Gear in a way where, like, every week it's like, oh, we're getting more and more into the true, like, what is this series about? And for me, it's been fun on a revisit, just like seeing all those layers again and seeing the way they're like divvied up, but I've been enjoying it. So.
I don't know if you guys remember this quote. It's from Mei Ling, I think, probably near in the beginning of my playthrough today, but maybe she gives it out when you just save randomly. I don't know. I think it fits this episode and my feelings on it. Even the greatest masterpiece has its flaws.
I did not get that.
Oh man.
Okay, well, it's a good one.
I think I have, like, so is Otacon just like really trying to like save Sniper Wolf and like trying to show Snake that she's not a bad person, even though she's straight up trying to kill him? But I digress. Like, is it just because Otacon like observed Sniper Wolf one time? Is it like he just has a big crush on her? Do they have a history? Like, I thought it was really weird how he just like randomly, fuck everyone else, but no, like we're gonna, try to humanize with this person that is clearly trying to kill me, and you're supposed to be on my side in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was a really interesting thing, and I thought that he was gonna get mad at me for killing Sniper Wolf, but I'm glad that he saw that she was accepting and, like, I guess wanted this to go down. Oh, also I love when Otacon passes her sniper, and it's like, hey, like this sniper's a part of me. I was like, okay, like, cool, cool stuff. So, like, I guess, like, tie it back. Does anyone have any further thoughts on like why Otacon just really wanted to save Sniper Wolf?
I think he's an otaku, man. I think maybe he got infatuated with the idea of a girl, and
I hear that.
Kojima just a cynical mind, just writing that character like that. I don't know.
I think your chat was in the right ballpark, Kevin, with their assessment on the whole situation.
Perhaps Otacon being a simp.
I feel
like, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like they may have at most had a handful of conversations in the past.
Yeah.
But very superficial. I think that's what
there was. I got a
about.
scene. Like, I don't know when it happened, but there was a moment where Snake, like, he was explaining to Snake of like why he thinks she's a good person, and like I kind of felt that Snake thought that too in the end, like when he was like talking with her and he was like complimenting her and stuff like that and like giving her peace. Like, he did that to Psycho Mantis as well, but I felt like it was much more like on like a human level in this one. Like, oh, you actually like you're good. You're just in this life. That's it. Like I am, you know.
Yeah.
So I had the impression, kind of through the both of them, that she was like at her core a good person. It's just like this was her role in it all was unfortunate. But the scene specifically, I don't know when it happened, but Otacon was saying that like because there was the hostage scenario and he's a part of it, he was saying that she's the one that's been like the nicest. Like she like was like showing him the dogs and like she was letting him feed the dogs and stuff like that, and they were like bonding over that. So like I'm with you guys that I do think they hammed it up of like Otacon taking that as like a oh she loves me, but they like the story he gave was like a wholesome thing to me and I liked it.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that point, but I remember hearing that. You're right. Yeah. And like I don't even know if like I mean I guess they go hand in hand, right? Like Snake could, you know, think that Sniper Wolf is like inherently just a good person, but like I like how it reflected on me. It rubbed off more of like drawing a parallel to when Snake was talking about his friend that fought with him in Battlefields, but like they were on opposing sides, but he still called him like his friend, and like it was just the nature of the job,
right? That
they just so happened to be on just opposite sides, but they were still, you know, buddy outside the battlefield. So I thought that is what I kind of tied it back to, not so much as that like he thinks that she's a good person, which they could both be correct at the same time,
right?
But yeah, like I take it more of as like a hey, like this person is just doing her job, like what someone said, like, you know, she's just caught up in this life as well, you know. And I think that's where it rubbed off on me more, or at least where I tied it more. But
yeah, I think especially with Snake, and you especially get the sense with Sniper Wolf and to an extent Psycho Mantis. They're all just sort of pawns in this, being manipulated by different parties, and they're not necessarily good or bad. They're just being used in certain ways to achieve a means to an end. So I feel like on some level they all understand that in a way. So yeah, I do like that relationship. And yeah, like what you were saying, Kevin, and I think you as well, Christian, like with Frank Yeager being like there was such a mutual respect between Snake and him in like the previous Metal Gear that none of us saw,
right?
But we heard through the codec, and I think that's definitely that piece of conversation was included in this game before the Sniper Wolf battle to sort of lead up to that and present that in this game through her.
Omar, do you feel like the way Snake treats Psycho Mantis in his death scene versus Sniper Wolf is like leaning one way or the other on like the way he views them as like people beyond just respecting them?
Like, are you saying does he view Psycho Mantis differently than Sniper Wolf? Or
yeah, because like on the level of like he respects Frank as a friend, he respects like what we're talking about with Gray Fox and Sniper Wolf, but like within just Foxhound, like does it seem like the way in the final moments for both these characters so far, like the way he treats them might like influence one way or the other on like how he views them beyond just being a soldier?
I think, I mean, like how they act in the final moments, like
yeah, like the way they Snake and them like go back and forth, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like with Psycho Mantis, there's a different thing where it's this man who regrets a lot at the very end of his life, or you know, like maybe reconsiders some of his actions, or because of one nice thing someone did. Whereas Sniper Wolf feels more like I think she always knew what she was doing, and I think Snake probably respects that more here. I assume. Well, that's my take on it. I think Snake has more affection for Sniper Wolf than he did for Psycho Mantis. I don't know.
Definitely, yeah. Like I thought with Psycho Mantis, Snake felt like, not like remorse, but like I guess like that he felt that like Psycho Mantis in a way couldn't help himself in a way. Like I think maybe he observed that like Psycho Mantis like clearly had trauma that he unpacked in that last cutscene, as opposed to Sniper Wolf. I think there was more of like a respect type of way where she was just really good at being a sniper. Like she, even that line of like, you're not a dog, you're a wolf. Like that in itself just shows like, I think how much more, I think the angle that he took with Sniper Wolf was like more of like a respect, like, almost like a camaraderie type of dynamic with that, as opposed to where I felt like he was more just like, not helping, but like observing Psycho Mantis and him unraveling his trauma in his last moments,
Sure.
But
yeah, because
Psycho Mantis is Darth Vader.
damn,
basically, because
crazy.
Like Jack,
take off the mask, that whole thing.
Going off like that was Psycho Mantis and like the trauma behind it, because like Snake has that aside when he's talking about his father. And do you think that like the Psycho Mantis respect is more out of like an obligation because Psycho Mantis like reads his mind and is like, hey, we're the same? Like, do you think it's more of that, where here with Sniper Wolf it's more respect, or like, what do you think?
Maybe. I think with Psycho Mantis, like, he started off with the KGB and then like defected and went to the FBI, as far as I can tell, and he was doing seemingly like good work, and then turned to the dark side in a way where he just like gets wrapped up in like his whatever case he was in, and just like that feeds into him and he becomes that character, and then he does that final last like good deed. And I think maybe Snake like comes to the conclusion like, all right, all wasn't lost with this person, it just took the most immense amount of effort to like draw that out of him. But with Sniper Wolf, I think I'm with you guys where like I don't really think her character changes in one way or another. Like, she was always that way. She was just being used by a certain party to do things that Snake thought was nefarious, where Snake could have been he very well could have been on that side if he stuck around with Foxhound. So I think he probably realizes that situation.
For sure. Well, I think we're winding down on the points for this chapter of Metal Gear Solid 1. Next week is going to be the final chapter of Metal Gear Solid, and I believe, I could be wrong, for Jack and Omar, if I'm wrong here, I think next week shouldn't be too long. I think this was the longest play session.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I remember like switching the disc too, and then like it going pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
So, like, unless there's any wild issues with a fight or the way the game ends up, which there could be, based on memory,
Yeah.
it should be much briefer in terms of what we're actually going through beat by beat. So I guess we can do the typical wrap up of final thoughts for the week, and plugging everything. But I guess since this is the penultimate Metal Gear Solid 1 chapter, let's add in expectations for the finale, I guess. Like, and Kevin, since it's newer for you,
okay,
why don't we kick it off with you this week? So plug your stuff, final thoughts for the week, expectations for the finale.
Yeah, ultimately, I'm still very much enjoying the story of Metal Gear Solid. I think like I'm kind of glad that I played Death Stranding first and then went back to see kind of like where it all came from a little bit. Like, it's like, I bet if I somehow didn't know that this was him, I probably would have thought it was Kojima. You know what I'm saying? Like it definitely like is super, at least from what I've experienced, like definitely is. It's just unfortunate that it's wrapped in a 98 PS1 game. Not a lot of things are as smooth as you would assume. But what I think is really what is still, I think, grabbing me which I think I said in the first episode, was that like it still has a very cinematic feel to it. That like it's shot where like you could almost see the remake if they were to do it. Like I feel like I could imagine it and see it, and that's probably what it would look like. You know, like if they were gonna do like a more, you know, 1-to-1, which I think you can for the most part do a 1-to-1 here with this, you know, with this game, because like just the way they shot different, you know, CGs, like the way they shot, like I guess cutscenes is what we would call it. Maybe they would call it like, I don't know, whatever they would call it then, but like yeah, I guess like cinematics, not FMV, you know, but
right
in a similar spirit. Yeah, overall enjoying the story. Excited to see, you know, where it goes. I'm assuming we're gonna take out Metal Gear, and not sure what other surprises happen or like what threads don't get answered. I think that's what I'm more curious about, like what doesn't get answered here in this first game and what's saved for later installments. But yeah, overall, you know, you can catch a stream on youtube.com/PlayStation Source. There's a public playlist on there. The actual streams are unlisted, but you can access them via the public playlist on the channel. Save Slot Podcast on Sundays, you know, hear Arachnite cap about Hitman and various other things as well on that show. We talked about Returnal this week, talked about a little bit of Destruction content as well. I'm going to put up as well this upcoming week. We're going to see how that game goes. And yeah, Twitter @PSSourceVids. And yeah, all the good stuff.
Very nice. Jack, what about you? Final thoughts, predictions, or I guess expectations for the replay, and then plug in your stuff.
Sure. Without spoiling, of course, I'm curious to see what I pick up at the end of this game, knowing what's coming, and what I maybe forgot since playing this, like, God, how long has it been? 6-7 years when I played in high school, maybe more than that, maybe close to 9. But yeah, I remember having difficulty piecing everything together at the end of this game, so I'm wondering if, given my knowledge of how the series progresses, if things start to click more. So I'll be looking out for that. And you can follow me on Twitter @FascinatedJack. If you like WandaVision, I think by the time this posted, Christian and I have reviewed episode 4 for WandaVision over on Excelsior, which you can find on YouTube @JoyClicks and also on podcast services. How about you, Omar?
Hey, final thoughts for the week. I think I wanted to mention that Sniper Wolf quote too, where she mentions that I guess I was just waiting to be killed, which I just love. I love so many things she says.
That show's fire.
Yeah, and to comment on a little bit about what Kevin said about noticing like the Kojima-isms from Death Stranding into Metal Gear Solid 1. I think this series is where I first like understood the concept of like direction, like Kojima puts his name all over the box, and I was like, oh, who's this Kojima guy? But you really do get a feel for like, you know, the characteristics he brings, and there's just the way shots look or the audio stuff from game to game. I don't know. I'm still having such a great time playing it again. Honestly, it does a lot with a pretty modest amount of hardware, I think. Anyways, I have a Twitch channel called Ohms the Chef. I'm in a bit of a funk right now. I'm trying to find what game to play next. I stopped playing Majora's Mask. I recently hooked up a Sega Saturn. Maybe I'll stream some of that. So nice. Yeah, please check it out. It's a cool channel, I think. And then I have a Twitter account, Ohms the Chef, where I am trying to write jokes. I don't know how it's going. That's that. Check me out, please. Thank you.
Listen, I love a good Ohms the Chef stream. You know what I'm saying? I was just here working on some stuff, and I see, oh my god, hell yeah! Let me just put that over here on this monitor. Just let that chill for a little bit. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You still got the VODs up for Metal Gear, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I should mention that. Yeah, I stream Metal Gear Solid every Wednesday, but today maybe was Thursday morning.
Nice.
So check it out.
So final thoughts for the week. I, like Omar and Jack said, revisiting this has been a treat. I still really love the game. For sure, the things that have been sticking out to me the most, really what Jack was saying of like seeing the threads with the hindsight of the rest of the series, like seeing certain references, certain allusions to things that may get answered next week, may not. That's been a lot of fun. Like scenario wise, I think this was probably my favorite week so far, just because I love Sniper Wolf so much, and the idea of a sniper battle in Metal Gear is really fun, and I think for the time it's a really interesting fight mechanically. As far as next week goes, 90% of, well, not like maybe like 60-70% of the quotes from Metal Gear Solid that like I will never forget happen next week, so I'm excited to see those again. And honestly, what I'm really excited about is discussing the different endings. I'm glad Kevin got in a scenario where he gets the other ending, because having that.
Wait, there's gonna be different endings?
There's 2, yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
So
I could be wrong, but I think there might be a chance for us to still get that ending Kevin will get too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe there is. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to that very much. And as far as everything goes, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Chun2D2. We got this show here, the Longplay Club, again, youtube.com/joyclicks in the playlist for Metal Gear Solid. Each, like, not chapter, but each, like, season, I guess, of Longplay Club will be broken up into different playlists as well. But they're all going to be on the same podcast feed. So if you want to listen to it in audio format, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you prefer to listen to podcasts. The Longplay Club, you can look it up. We got this show here. Again, the next Metal Gear Solid 2 will be there as well. If you're enjoying the show, following along, be sure to give us a rating and a review. It just takes a second. Helps us out, helps find more of an audience. I'll say, shout out. I posted the first episode on a Metal Gear Reddit, and I saw a lot of positivity of people being like, hey, this is cool. I like Metal Gear. So, shout out. And if you want to get involved further, patreon.com/joyclicks, the $1 and $5 tiers. $5 tier gets you producer credit like Chris Sakas. So thank you all so much for following along. I'm excited for next week. Jack, Kevin, Omar, it's been a pleasure as well, always. I like doing this every week. I hope you guys do too.
I love
Absolutely.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
100%.
So I feel bad that we don't have a definite call, like, sign off for this show. But it's just like every week there's a new quote. So who's thinking one? Who's thinking of a good quote for the end this week?
Maybe we should leave the audience like pondering, being a little bit more introspective. Like,
yeah, let's all just turn around.
Like, maybe asking a question like, "Can love really bloom on a battlefield?"
Absolutely.
Or just really stew on that.
Okay.
We could also all turn around and just walk into the fog. You know?
Sure.
We could do that.
I'd like that one.
We'll add it in post.
What if we combine these ideas? What if we? Whoa!
Oh shit! Whoa!
Omar, can we get your best "Can love bloom on the battlefield"? And as you say this, we'll all turn away from the camera. Okay?
All right. Otacon says that, right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. With this black backdrop,
Sure. So as soon as Omar starts, guys, it's our cue to turn and walk away.
like we're trying to chair around, right?
Yeah, we'll try the channel. Yes.
All right. Man, I think Jack had the best Otacon voice. Let me try. Can love really bloom on a battlefield, Snake?